Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to learn how to do our first animation project. So what we're going to do is, just as a refresher, we are going to go to pixlr.com/e. Then we are going to hit Create New. Remember, we would like to work with this full HD. I'm going to name mine this time. It will come up as untitled for you. You're going to change it to ball, drop, dash, and then put your name. I'm going to click this, which is the background. Because I'm on white here automatically, it's a longer oval. If you were to click any of these, it would switch and allow you to choose a specific orange or a specific green or whatever color this is supposed to be. But anyway, since we're already on white, we're all set up. I'm going to hit Create. So it's nice. It fills in the whole background for you already, makes it nice and easy. I'm going to zoom out, and here's why. When I zoom out, it's just going to make an easier time for me to create this first step, which is we are going to create a ground, essentially, for this project. Because what you're going to do is you are going to create an object that you are quote-unquote dropping. It can be a ball. I know I labeled mine ball drop, but if you choose to do something other than a ball, that's perfectly fine. In an example that I showed you prior to the break, I showed you that I did a bowling ball, but you can do a regular ball, you can do a bowling ball, you can do a rock. I don't care, but we gotta make a ground first in order to do this. So remember, anytime that we draw, we want to do non-destructive editing. So that means that we have to add a blank layer. So I'm going to hit plus, I'm going to hit empty, and then I'm going to get to work. So the first thing I'm going to do is set up my brush. I want a nice hard brush. So I want to get rid of this hardness. Softness. I want to leave just the littlest hint of it. I'm going to check out my size. So I can see my circle there is still rather large. So I'm going to bring that size down. Maybe somewhere around 20. Doesn't have to be perfect, okay? So I go across, looks like I'm still on white, so I have to flip my colors. So remember, with your paintbrush, this top left is going to be your paint color. So I'm just gonna draw a line just straight across, and then first step is done. I am gonna rename this. I'm gonna name this ground because that's our ground. Next, what I'm going to do is I am going to draw my ball. Again, non-destructive editing. So what I am going to do is I am going to add another blank layer. The reason why I want the blank layer is because I want to be able to duplicate this and move it around. So I need it on its own layer and not on the same layer as the ground. So I'm just going to name this ball. And actually, I want to play around today. I don't want to do a ball. I'm going to do, I don't know, rock. All right. So I'm going to make a rock. So I'm going to make an even smaller brush here. I can actually select down here, which is actually a little more convenient. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And I'm going to make something that looks like a rock. Add some ledges to it. And it kind of looks like a smiley face, so I don't want to do that. There we go. All right, so that looks like my rock. All right. So here is my rock. It's a little large, I just realized. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab this arrange, and I'm just going to shrink my rock down. There's no reason to have a rock that big. All right, so first step. You actually want to have it where it's almost completely off the screen. Okay. Now, the other thing is, it is a little hard in order to keep your line straight all the time, or your rock falling straight. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to add one more blank layer first. And then I'm going to grab a shape tool here. Or actually, that's our gradient, sorry. Shape tool over here. I'm going to switch it to line. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find around the center of this rock, pretty much the center of my image should be. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the shift button. And because I'm holding the shift button and it keeps that line straight, no matter, see how far I'm moving over left to right, it'll keep a real nice straight line for me. And then I'm going to rename this. Remember, we want to keep our naming system really clear, so this way we know what is what. Now, what you want to do is you want to name this line, so then this way we know that that's what that is. And just move it down, so then this way it's out of the way and we don't accidentally move it. Now, if I move my rock, I can actually make sure, see how it centers up and it's got that little like purple line that's going on. It's actually the center of this screen. So I'm actually going to move my line to match that if it'll let me. There it goes. All right. So now that I've gotten this all together, I kind of don't like my ground. It's a little too thick, so I'm going to shrink it up if it'll let me. I might just redo this actually. So I'm not a big fan of this line. So I'm actually going to erase this guy and I will redo it. Make sure I'm still in that ground layer. I'm at like 10. It's curved the wrong way. You can see how sometimes it just messes up and you just undo. My mouse is being a little goofy. I'm gonna add in a little like fake grass here or something. And then maybe I can actually I can add like a little flower here if I want to. I don't know. Just you can play around with this if you want. Just make sure if you draw like any changes to your ground, I highly suggest you come back in here and you erase like just underneath, so it makes it look like it actually belongs there. So this last little thing was a mistake because of my mouse going crazy, so I'm just going to erase that too. All right. So now, here's the quote-unquote hard part of this project, which really isn't a hard project. I think literally we did the hardest part so far, actually. So what you're going to do now is you are going to duplicate your layer. All right, so you can see how it says rock copy. I like to actually rename them so in order, so then this way I know which one's where, just in case you accidentally grab the wrong one, okay? Now, if you hold the shift button, it'll move quicker. So I want you to move it down like 5 times. So actually, let me go back so we can actually count that. All right, so I'm gonna hold the shift button and I'm gonna go down 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Now I'm gonna duplicate that one. Rename it to Rock 2. And I'm gonna do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Didn't let me do it that last time for some reason. Sorry about that. My screen had froze, so I had to pause the recording. So I'm going to do that one more time. Okay. So now I'm going to duplicate. Again, repeat this process. And you are going to continue to repeat this process until you get all the way down the bottom. So again, I'm going to just keep on doing this. We're going to hold shift. We're going to go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, we keep repeating this until we get that rock all the way down here on the bottom. All right, I'm going to pause my video so you don't have to get bored by me doing this over and over and over again. And then I will resume it once I get down to the bottom. All right, so I got all the way down the bottom here. You can see it looks a little weird, but it looks like a bunch of things stacked on top of each other. But I saved one last little cool spot for you for the end. So what I'm going to do is because I made a rock and I can see that it's like uneven, and if this actually fell on the ground, this back line would disappear a little bit. But for me, I'm not going to make it that complicated for you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this, and you can see I have a little dial that's right here when I'm on the arrange button, which is this little button up here. What I'm going to do is I am going to tilt this so as if it hit the ground and then kind of like leveled off. So I think it'll add a little bit of something a little different to make it a little cooler. But the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more blank layer, and I'm going to add some like sound effect lines at most. So I'm going to have it where basically when it hits this ground, I'm going to have it where these lines appear so it shows that it hit the ground. All right, so now that I'm done all that, I am going to hide this line layer. And then what I need to do is I need to start from the top. And actually, as I said, you want to be really good about naming all your stuff. So this is going to be the sounds, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to work backwards. You're going to start at the top, and you are going to start to hide all of your images. And I'm going to show you how to do the first couple, and then I'm going to pause my video again so I don't bore you. Because this next part is like a little tedious, but it's nothing hard. It's going to take a couple extra minutes for you to export each of these layers. And I'm not going to bore you. All right, so I got all the way back up to this rock. But what I'm going to do is I am going to actually hide this one as well because I want it to not be on the screen for my first image. So what I am going to do is I am going to go up to here to File. I'm going to hit Save. You can see it says Control S. So it'll save you a step, pun intended, but save you a step. If you don't want to have to go up to here each time, you can just hit Control S on your computer, and that screen will pop up for you. For me, it won't because I'm on a Mac. So I'm going to hit this. So I'm going to hit Control S for me. You can see because we named our file in the beginning, it already pops up for me. But as I download each of these, so I'm going to hit download on this one. You can see it takes a second to download. I hit close. I got one right here. Well, now I'm going to bring the first rock. Okay, and this is why it's really important to name all these so you don't get lost. All right, so the first rock, I'm going to do the same exact thing again. I'm going to save this. I'm going to hit download. Now notice I'm not changing anything up here. I'm not changing anything up here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to hit download. And what happens is as I'm downloading stuff onto this computer, you can see that it says Anderson, and then it says Anderson 1. So what it's doing each time is it's going to add a number at the end each time I save this, so I don't have to worry about renaming these again each time I save them, because I saved it originally. So now I hide the rock 0, if you want to think of it that way, and now I'm going to do rock 1. And then I'm just going to repeat this process over again. I'm going to save it, hit download, close, hide, show, file, save, download, close, hide, show, file, save, download. You can see how this process, it's a little annoying, but it creates a cool result in the end for our next step. So I will see you once I am done exporting all of these, and I will show you what the next step is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I got all the way to here where my rock, again, you could do a ball, you could do anything else you want. I know I called it ball drop, but again, you're more than welcome to draw a different object if you want. But my rock fell down here to the ground. So I am done. You can see all my files down here, which is great. What I'm going to do is I am going to open up my Finder. I think yours is called Explorer or something like that, or Drive or whatever it is on your Chromebook. But you're going to go and you're going to find all of your files in your Downloads folder. So you can see I have 19 images here because I had 18 rocks, and then I also had a 0 and I had an off the screen one. So that's why I have a total of 19 images. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go to Capwing. Old Capwing. I will include this in our directions if you need to. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Tools. I am going to go to Video Maker. And then I hit Get Started. Now, remember, we had an issue the last time where if you tried to upload them all at one time, you lost the order. So you have to upload these individually. So my suggestion is you split your screen half and half. Then start loading these up. So I know this one's first for me. I don't know why they're that out of order, but actually it's last open for some reason. There we go. Okay, I am gonna just start putting these in. So I go one at a time. Remember, you don't have to wait for the last one to finish loading before you start grabbing the next one. So you're gonna do that. And again, not to bore you, I'm gonna pause and I'll get to you when I'm done doing all this. All right, so I have loaded all of mine. You will notice that there is an issue. Our video is, first of all, is a minute long. And the reason why is I have these each set for 3 seconds apiece. We don't want that. We want them all to be set at a fraction of a second. So then this way, it looks like a rock actually dropping in normal speed. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to hit Edit Duration. And we are going to put this all the way up at 0.1 seconds per image. You're going to hit Apply to all images. Then what we are going to do is, you can see now, I'm only at 2 seconds now. And that is right. We are only going to make 2-second videos. Somewhere around there, they don't need to be long. But they do come out really cool in the end. So hopefully you really like it. So let's actually take a preview of this. Let's hit Edit in Studio. We get a nice larger screen here. I'm going to have to move my screen a little bit because my tools are in the way. I got to close my tools. But let me hit play. You can see our rock dropping. For some reason it stopped. Let's try it again. All right, sorry about that. My screen froze again, but here's our video once more. Boom. Now, you'll notice that it kind of goes a little too quick after the rock lands. I don't see it actually land. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go back and I am going to edit just this one. I am going to change the duration, which I could do from this screen. I'm going to change the duration to like 2 seconds. And here's why. We want to see that land and stay there for a second so we can actually see what's going on. Okay? Perfect. Our video is nice and done. We can hit pause here. We can hit export video. It'll say, hey, your stuff is getting exported. As soon as this screen goes on to the next one, because I'm recording, I'm going to pause this again. It'll get me to the next screen. I'll show you what to do. And then we just upload our videos to the assignment and we are all done. All right, so once you get to this screen, you will see that it is done being exported. Now, there is an issue. I did start to sign in, and I mentioned this before. See how this has a watermark? We don't want that. So just sign in. You can use a bogus email or anything like that. Maybe an old email you don't use. You don't have to put actual information in. So then this way, like, none of your information is out. Or if you feel comfortable enough, you can use your Google account. That is entirely up to you. But I am going to sign in. I'm going to go in with Google because I signed everything in with Google. Now, if for some reason you don't sign in, you'll see that it'll kick you back to this export page. So again, I'll get to you when it is done exporting. All right, so I got onto this last screen. You can see my video has now exported. Once you are done, make sure that there is no watermark down here. Then you can hit download and then submit it to Google Classroom. As soon as you're done that, you are all done. So hopefully you enjoy this little project. It's our first animation project of the year. And have at it, have fun with it. See you soon.